Ever since I was a little girl, all I wanted to do was be a mom. But it didn't happen the way I thought it would. My journey to motherhood was quite different. When my husband and I first found out I was pregnant, we were so excited. But I found out I miscarried just a few weeks later. A few months after that, I found out I was pregnant again, but this time I was terrified. And I didn't know if I could handle another loss. So we went into my first sonogram, and that little heart started beating, and my husband and I began dreaming about our future with our child. And that little baby started growing, and so did our love for that little baby. But then one day, that tiny heartbeat stopped, and so did my world. I didn't know if I could survive a grief like that. And I didn't know how to reconcile a good God with my loss. And then my husband sat before me and said, "You don't have to have faith because I'm going to have faith for you. You don't have to pray because I'm going to pray for you." And that day I understood how someone could carry your burdens. But the journey wasn't over. 5 years later, I was still waiting on that miracle, on that prayer to be answered. The Lord asked me to go on a prayer walk. During that time, I heard my name, and the Holy Spirit fell like I've never felt Him before. And I committed my motherhood to Him. And I said, "Lord, if I will only be a mom on that side of heaven, then Lord, I trust you." All of a sudden, the Lord said, "Jennifer, I've called you to be a mom, and I will give you the desires of your heart, and I want you to write a letter to Ava Jane." As I wrote, I didn't know if I would ever meet this baby, but I was trusting the Lord. 3 years later, we were at a praise and worship night at our church, and my husband reached over and he started praying for me. I didn't know what he was saying, but a few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant again. But shortly after, started having complications, and I just didn't think I could handle it. My first sono, my husband shouted, "There's a heartbeat!" And the nurse said, "Do you want to know the conception date?" And it was the night that my husband had prayed over me. And that was when he said, "The Lord told me to pray over you and for your womb to open." 9 months later, our Ava Jane was born. She is the light of our lives. She is spunky and independent and loves Jesus. And we could not love her anymore. But my miracle baby did not make me valuable. I was valuable just as much during my journey as I was holding that miracle. And you are too. I am Jennifer, and this is my story.